Today is a new principle of design. Today we're going to talk about rhythm and movement. The principle rhythm is a principle of design that suggests movement or possibly action. Rhythm is usually achieved through a repetition of lines, shapes, colors, and even more. It creates a visual tempo in your artwork, and it can give a path for the viewer's eye to follow. So the main goal of rhythm and movement is to move the viewer from one side to the other, or from the outside in, or the inside out. There are a few different ways to achieve it, but first let's talk about what rhythm is. So rhythm is like music. It's like the drum beat. It can have a pattern. That pattern can also change. There's some repetition, but not too much. Rhythm has elements that happen more than once, but it's not just the pattern. It's kind of like the streets that we drive. The pattern of the roads are different, but the roads are all similar, like they all look the same and they all direct us from one place to another. So rhythm, the definition is the direction the viewer is taken. The key word here is the direction. There are three ways to get rhythm. First, you have repetition. It's not just repetition, because pure repetition only has one element. It's like playing one beat from one drum over and over and over and over and over again. We need more than that to create rhythm. We could also use pattern. A pattern is repeating, but it could have multiple elements, like a drum beat. You can have a kick drum, a snare drum. You can have two different sounds, three different sounds, but they repeat after each other. Last but not least, you just need movement. Movement, you can use any of our artistic elements that we learned from Unit 1 to help guide the eyes from one spot to another. Today we're going to focus on creating just one example. This example is going to have repetition, it's going to have pattern, and it's going to have movement. I'm going to start by picking a color. I'm going to start with red.
I'm late.
So first I'm going to go with my brush and I'm going to go back and forth. I'm not planning this out. I'm kind of letting things just happen. My goal is to take the viewer from the top to the bottom. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add another layer. We'll choose a different palette of colors. I'm using my element of line to help guide the viewer from one end to another. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So to repeat what I said earlier, this has movement, this has rhythm. Everything's going in the same direction. I'm using a repeating concept of line. It gives me direction. It guides me from one end to another. This has repetition, it has pattern, and it shows movement, and that is why it is an example of rhythm. Finish up your example If you have any extra work, you can go ahead and finish that if you finish early. If you are done with all previous work, you can go onto sketch.io or you can free draw. Raise your hand if you have any questions.